you were saying earlier that lead magnet has to provide value. Now, what we did with the interactive quiz is we used it as a decision maker for people that are teetering on the edge.
Hey everyone, welcome to the S.O.B Marketing Podcast, where we celebrate the S.O.B that you are, and if you haven't figured it out yet, we mean small-owned business. We don't mean S.O.B.
Listen, we know that as a small business owner, you are working hard on the daily to keep your business fully operational while trying to promote it. And while some days it may feel like the business is owning you, if we're being honest with each other, I bet you would admit that you wouldn't give up the insanity for anything.
Our commitment here at the S.O.B Marketing Podcast is to give you the real talk, what works when it comes to advertising, marketing, promoting your business, and then what doesn't really work.
And Chelsea and I promise to always keep the conversation real.
Hey Vivian, hey everyone, welcome back to the S.O.B Marketing Podcast. S.O.B as in small-owned business, not S.O.B as in S.O.B.
Son of a biscuit.
Exactly. Before we get started this week, I do just want to really quick say thank you for listening. If you have any marketing topics that you want us to discuss, go ahead and email us at help@theseasonmarketer.com. Again, we just try to talk about whatever marketing topics you want to hear so that we can help you feel confident in your marketing. So, Vivian, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are going to be talking about the infamous lead magnets. So, yes, this is something that I think for a lot of small business owners, it may seem a little mysterious for a couple different reasons. So for one, I think the term lead magnet has really just come into play the past couple of years. Like it came out swinging, right? And that's because a lot of what businesses are doing, there's an online function to it now. And so whereas before maybe lead magnets really, it wasn't a term that we were using in the industry. If you're a small business owner, you have to know A, what a lead magnet is, and B, how you can leverage it in order to increase your sales at the end of the day. So Chelsea, do you want to start there? Do you want to tell us what a lead magnet is?
Of course. So a lead magnet is something of value that you are giving to a potential customer, client, in exchange for their contact information. So think about free downloads, or maybe you have a quiz and they can get the answers to the quiz if they input their email, maybe even a webinar. It's something where you are exchanging value with your target audience, and it's going to be something of value that they actually want. And that is the key right there. You need to provide a lead magnet that is actually going to be intriguing to your target audience.
So a really good lead magnet, I think, has two components to it. For one, it's going to help your small business grow. That's a really important, that's the reason you do it, right? As a small business owner, that you're investing the time and effort into creating lead magnets. But the other end of it is it allows you to really start a relationship with a potential customer when it's based off of value, right? So you've already given them something. They know about you now, and potentially that hopefully will in their mind, stay with them and make them think of you in the future when they're looking to purchase a product or service that's in your industry or that you can help with. So I think those are two really strong key components that you have to have in order to have an effective lead magnet.
Yeah. And I think I do want to bring up the fact that a lead magnet is providing something of value before they become a customer or client. So you are showing your potential audience that you have something of value and that you are knowledgeable in your field and that this is why they should listen to you. So it's going to be before they purchase anything.
And it's even in the name itself, Chelsea. So lead magnet, right?
Exactly.
It's a way to attract leads, right? And so leads are really what you're utilizing to the group of people that you're going to, that you've warmed up and that you're able to sell to them. And the reason that I think there's so much hesitation for people to do cold sales, like nobody likes doing cold sales. And the reason that is because it's awkward. It's practically like you're going up to somebody. Yeah. For example, the mall kiosk. Okay. Those people that have the kiosk in the middle of the mall, you're walking by, they don't know nothing about you, and they're approaching you about hair products. Like, you know, maybe I have something where my scalp is super sensitive and I don't want to, you know, be trying new hair products, this and that.
Yeah.
But it's like you're way more effective if you're able to differentiate between a person that's going to be a good lead and someone that is interested in your product, and then someone that just isn't going to give you the time of day because they have no interest in it whatsoever.
I do want to touch base on something that we did discuss in a previous podcast episode with Jordan Ilderton, and that is sometimes small business owners might feel a little iffy about giving away free information and giving away something of value for free. If you are worried that you are giving too much away by creating a lead magnet, maybe you're not an expert in your field, right? Like, you should be okay with sharing information with potential customers. And that is the whole point of content marketing, is to give people something of value so that they can understand better your business, they can feel more comfortable with your products or services, and they will trust you more. So again, do not be afraid to give things away for free. If you feel like you are giving away too much information, then maybe you need to restructure your business model.
Yeah, there's always a way. And I think sometimes we overthink things. So if you're saying, I don't want to give any information away for free, I agree with Chelsea here, who's trying to tell y'all, then maybe you're just not being creative enough in the stuff that you're using, the information and content you're using to create a lead magnet. Because there are so many different ways to do this. Right now, what I want to do is I want everybody to visualize. You have a funnel. Every business has a funnel. And at the top of the funnel, it's wider. And at the bottom, it's narrower. It's more narrow.
It's more narrow.
It's more narrow.
You know, like a funnel.
Yeah. So, like a funnel, okay. And so basically, think of an ice cream cone. That's a funnel shape ice cream cone. So at the top of it, because it's broad, what your lead magnet is essentially doing is basically just trying to decide, is this person a good fit to even go through my funnel? Because at the end of the day, you are spending resources, whether that is money, effort, whatever it is, you're spending resources to push people through that funnel. They'll enter at the top tier. Then, you know, it takes some type of investment on your part to get them to move closer to a sell in that middle tier. And then you're pushing them down further into that final decision of them jumping to purchase your product and service. Each one of these tiers is going to require some type of investment. And in order for you, before you go out there and spend money trying to get people that aren't the right fit to buy your product and service, this lead magnet is basically your point where you're saying, yes, that person's perfect, let's put them in the funnel, or no, you know, they're not the right fit for my business. So Chelsea, do you want to give them an example of how we use this with that interactive quiz that we created?
So we created an interactive quiz to promote the course. And the quiz is basically, are you ready to participate in events? So this is designed for those small business owners that are kind of on the fence about, do I want to start going to events? Do I want to participate in craft fairs? Am I really ready? So that's who we were trying to target. So by creating this quiz, what we did is we promoted it on Facebook. People can go through the quiz, take it, and then to find out if they are ready or not, they put in their email address. That way we can send them their results and we can go ahead and create that connection with them. So because we know that they are interested in events and craft fairs and event marketing, we can, with consent, always get consent, we can send them
Always
emails
consent.
about always consent. We can send them emails about event marketing. We can send them emails about if we're having a sale on our course. We also have other free training that leads into the course that we can send them through email. We're creating that relationship and we are segmenting them so that we can better provide information that they are going to want. And I think lead magnets are a wonderful tool for segmentation.
Yes, I love everything about that. You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly how we use this interactive quiz. Now, here's a couple of points about this. Remember, you were saying earlier that lead magnet has to provide value. Now, what we did with the interactive quiz is it basically, we used it as a decision maker for people that are teetering on the edge. They're like you said, do I want to? Am I prepared? We ask them a series of questions. And at the end of the quiz, they basically have an actionable step that says, yes, you're ready. Here are free resources we have for you that you could take advantage of us. Or no, you're not quite ready, but here are free resources that you can take advantage of that can get you ready to start participating in those events. Now, the other part of it too is, like you said, all right, so we provided something of value because now they know. They're like, okay, I have someone that's confirming that I'm ready to take that next step. For us, it was very methodical in the type of quiz that we wanted to use, because what we are doing is we are identifying people that are at the beginning of their journey. And those are the people that we want because those are the ones who are going to benefit the most from our course, right? Those are the people that they don't know what to expect. So going through our six module course is really going to help them because they have downloadable checklists. There, we teach them how to set up a table display. We teach them how to find the right events to go to. So there was a very good reason for us to choose that particular small business owner. Small business owners, there are a gajillion of you out there, okay? We were very specific about the quiz we put together because we wanted to attract a very specific type of small business owner. And you need to be doing the same thing when you are creating your lead magnet. It doesn't have to be a quiz, but what I will tell you is, in the years of doing this, this interactive quiz has been the most effective on getting people onto our email list. And the reason we want that is because we are then massaging that relationship and kind of giving them more information on top of it.
I really love the quiz because, again, it's interactive. I think it engages people more than just a free download or something like that. So I really love the quiz. I think it's a great lead magnet. But I do want to talk about the fact that you should have multiple lead magnets. And again, as I was mentioning before, segmentation, each of your lead magnets should be positioned towards a different segment of your target audience. Let's go through this. Let's talk about it. Okay. So like you were talking about your funnel, each lead magnet is going to go through the marketing funnel, correct? But each lead magnet is going to be a different segment of your target audience. Why should you segment your target audience? Why do I need to split them up? I already niche, Chelsea. You want me to be even more specific? What's the point of this? Because we have very different small business owners who listen to us, correct? We have small business owners that are just getting started in events, and that's why we created this quiz. Are you ready to participate in events? We also have small business owners who have been participating in events forever and they've got it down. That doesn't mean that we don't have information that is useful to them. We still have things that they might need help with. Maybe they got event marketing down, but they're really uncomfortable with Facebook ads. Or maybe they're really uncomfortable with email marketing. We have information for that. So creating a lead magnet specifically about email marketing is still going to talk to our target audience. It's just going to be a different segment of them. And this way, one, we are reaching all of our target audience and providing them with personalized information. So two, we've touched everybody in our group. We're providing them with all the information that we have that's going to help them. And we've personalized it in a way that lets them feel connected to us, which is exactly what we're going for. We here, Vivian and I, the seasoned marketer, we are all about helping small business owners. You are unique. You're a unique small business owner. You're not going to fit in our overall bucket. You're going to be in a different bucket than another small business owner. That's the whole point of segmentation. I love segmentation. I think it's so important. And that's why lead magnets are so important.
Ditto, ditto, ditto. Thank you. I think, you were preaching to the choir over here. I absolutely agree with all of that. Do you love making crafts and working on your small business, but struggle to get them in front of customers?
Do craft fairs, events, or pop-ups leave you feeling overwhelmed or frustrated?
Introducing Rock Your Fair, the course designed to help you succeed in the world of craft fairs, pop-ups, and events, created by two marketing professionals with over 15 years of experience. Rock Your Fair is perfect for anyone who's new to the game or just wants to step up their game.
Our step-by-step approach will guide you through everything you need to know, from choosing the right events, to setting up your booth, to marketing your products effectively.
And you know what? You'll also get access to us for personalized coaching and feedback so you can put your best foot forward.
Do not let craft fairs, pop-ups, and events hold you back. Sign up for Rock Your Fair today and start rocking your way to success.
For a limited time, get access to our free mini course. Simply head over to our website at www.theseasonmarketer.com and click on workshops. What I think really helps is if you're a small business owner and you're thinking, after hearing that, this is a lot of work, that sounds like a lot of work to narrow down and to segment my target audience. Remember that the better you get at this target segmentation and building leads to attract, each one of the segmented group, it's going to be directly correlated to an increase in sales on your part. If you're doing it well, you're going to see it in the numbers. Okay. So the proof is in the pudding. Yep. Now, as Chelsea mentioned, it is a known fact that marketing is the big thing with marketing right now going into 2024 is personalization. And you guys cannot tell me anything to the contrary, because as consumers, you are like this day in and day out. Think about it. Netflix has spoiled us. Okay. Spotify has spoiled us. Everything is now customized based on our preferences. And that's what people are looking for in businesses, even if it's small business. And the one way that you can do this, you don't need a big budget. You don't need to go out there and spend gobs of money on unnecessary software or equipment or anything to help you do this. The easiest way to do it is to do exactly what Chelsea is saying. Go through, look at your target audience, look at how you can put people into buckets, right? Within that target audience. For us, it's small business owners with less than 5 employees. Great. Now in there, we have some small business owners who like events, craft fairs, pop-ups. There are some that are never going to do that, but there are a big segment of our followers that are going to do that. Great. They're now in a particular funnel, and we have resources that are dedicated specifically to them. All of those lead to our course ultimately. But then in another group, we have people that might be interested in writing blogs. They need to know about Google Analytics. They are more, looking at website stuff. And so we have resources dedicated to them. each one of these buckets is still going to serve our ultimate target audience, and it's always going to lead to something that we are offering. But it helps because at the end of the day, what better feeling than to have your potential customers say, wow, I mean, they saw I took interest in doing events and craft fairs, and now they've provided me 3 free resources, and they continue to send me information on this stuff.
Absolutely. And can I just say, so the point that you just made, but segmentation can be really difficult and sounds like a lot of effort, a lot of work. Flowdesk, you don't have to make this stuff difficult. And there are so many tools out there and resources that can help you in this entire process and make it pretty seamless. I mean, once you set up the Flowdesk automation, everything in the background, you don't have to touch any of our lead magnets, correct?
Yeah, you are 100% right. If you guys have not heard, Chelsea is introducing you to a new tool. This is a tool very similar to a MailChimp, but we prefer to use it because, for one, I love me a good drag and drop. And this is great because it's easy. It's very, every week we send out a marketing email to our subscriber base. This allows me to stay on top of it because it's easy to do. Right? If it's hard, if it requires, a lot of like piecing together, I'm not going to stay on top of it. This is real simple. They have templates in there that we can use. But what I love the most about Flowdesk is that it's like an all-in-one platform. So for example, let's say we create a checklist, which we have. We upload that checklist onto Flowdesk. I actually have the capability to create a page, a landing page, where once people go in there, they read the text, what the free download's about, they enter their first name, their email address, then they get put into this segmentation. And then from there, I can actually create a workflow that is like a series of 3 emails. And I get to write each one of them and decide what those are going to be. And so the reason I like doing that is because it keeps everything organized in there. I'm able to do all of that in one platform without having to integrate all kinds of different stuff. And it's also super simple. That's what I like. Just keep it easy for me.
Yeah, exactly. So really the hardest part of this entire process is creating the lead magnet, which, if you are an expert in your field, really shouldn't be that difficult. Just get creative with it. I mean, like we're talking about, you could create a quiz, you could create a free download, a free checklist. What are some other examples that you can think of?
Yeah, so I would approach it maybe a little differently. You have just listed the ones, the format that is most popular, right? So like a downloadable PDF, you could do a checklist, a quiz. But what I would say is if you have this like roadblock that you can't think of any, you're like, I just don't even know what my lead magnet would be. What I would do is I would create a line, right? Get a pencil and paper, create a line, and actually think about your target audience and divide them into 3 segments and think, okay, phase 1 is going to be, the first part of when they're in the first part of their journey. So let's say that you're an insurance agent. This is obviously, I always use insurance as a example. I do not know what my obsession is. Let's say you're in, I don't know. Let's say you're an insurance agent.
And fish.
What you could do is, fishing, an insurance agency. I'm an old lady. What can I say? That's the kind of stuff I think about. So let's say insurance, I would segment them by ages, right? So I would say the first age group are going to be the people that are think of people that are coming out of college, that are just now needing, maybe they're rolling off their parents' car insurance, whatever it is. Okay. So that's your first segmentation. You could do it by age. Then you have the middle-aged people, the people that are then starting families, right? And so what's important to them? Well, obviously, they want to start thinking about life insurance, right? They maybe want to set up college planning for their kids as they grow older. And then look at the people that are close to retirement. Those people, each group of people, same target audience, but they all have very specific different needs in those phases. Whatever industry you are in, you can segment your target audience into 3 groups. Just think about the phases that they go through, right? Small business owners. You have small business owners that are just starting a small business. You have small business owners that are probably they're comfortable, they're plateaued, they're kind of, staying at level with what they've been doing. Maybe they've been in it 5 years. Then you have small business owners that really want to hone in on growth. They're like, I want to grow. So each one of them has very different needs. And if we were building lead magnets for each one, we could easily come up with checklist and guides that would help them in each one of those phases, depending on where they're at in their small business growth.
Yes, and that is so wonderful point. Start with who each segment is before you start thinking about what kind of lead magnet you're going to create. Can I just say, though, I love marketing because everything ties together so neatly in a cute little bow. Last week, we were talking about niching down and why you need a niche down. And this is a great example of why, because once you create that niche, then you need to segment that target audience. We were talking about content marketing the other day. This is a part of content marketing because you are providing content. That's your lead magnet to your target audience. And everything that we said about content marketing is true in this scenario as well. It needs to be interesting. It needs to provide valuable information. But my point is, when it comes to marketing, everything is related to one another. And that's why we want to take the time to have these conversations, because sometimes it can feel like you're missing a piece of the puzzle if you don't have all of the information. I'm sorry, I just got on a tangent, but I just think it's really interesting. Marketing is what I do, and so it's good that I like it, I guess.
Yeah. It's funny because in your mind, you're like, I love that everything's wrapped up in a little bow and it all connects. And in my mind, have you seen that meme where it's like the guy trying to solve a mystery and he's got all these like red like strings and threads, connected to pins? In my mind, that's what it is. Yeah. So
It's
things
from
for me
Always
never
Sunny.
seem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. For me, I never feel like things are wrapped up perfectly. So it's just funny to me that in your head, you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. This is all connected. In my head, it's like absolute chaos 24/7. Like it is all interconnected. And the beauty of this too is, let me tell y'all, you get a lead magnet. Let's say that you're okay, something random. Here in Charleston, South Carolina, we have a walking tour. This lady that I think she calls herself like a hat lady or something. She wears a hat and she does walking tours of downtown Charleston. If you're thinking, what type of lead magnet could she do? She could easily do a downloadable guide for, top 5 places you absolutely have to visit if you're in Charleston, South Carolina, top 5 restaurants, whatever it is, right? So something that's useful to tourists that are going to be coming in who would also subsequently be looking for something to do to book a tour, right? And so that's how you have to think about it, right? What is going to be useful to them that may not be directly correlated to what I'm doing, but does still have some like thread of, interest in the same type of industry. Now, here's the beauty of it, because it's all interrelated. Once you start with a lead magnet, you now are growing your email list. And we always say that email lists are the way to go because emails are way more effective at closing sales than social media marketing. Okay. So because then you are creating a strong lead magnet, people are actually going, they're downloading it, they love it. You now are growing your email subscriber list, people who are interested in what you're selling that you can low key sell to them because you're providing them information on a monthly or weekly basis. And then at the bottom, you're just adding something about, hey, by the way, here are some of the products that we have on sale this week or whatever it is. So it all works.
Yeah.
Really, really great.
I do want to make one really quick important point. You're thinking about your target audience. It's not about you. It's not about what you want, what you think is interesting, what you have to get into the mind of who you're talking to. We say it all the time. I just want to reiterate it. It's something that I struggle with all the time. Vivian and I have this conversation. We were talking about Instagram stories. We need to utilize Instagram stories more often. I personally hate Instagram stories. I will not watch them. I don't want to look at them. I find them so annoying. And Vivian very smartly said, Chelsea, it's not about you. And that's correct. Our target audience are all
It's
about
about the people we're
stories. They
trying
want
to
to look at
attract,
them.
Chelsea.
Exactly. I mean, you're correct. It's not about me. I got to suck it up. But it's a great point. Again,
Well,
maybe you're not interested in that, but you got to do what your target audience wants.
yeah, and I think with the lead magnet, what I would steer away from is, okay, let's say that you create if you are this insurance agency and you're creating a guide, right, for people who are coming out of college, and you're saying, hey, here are things that you need to think about, to set up now that you're out on your own in the real world, right? Make sure that the guide actually provides information and isn't just a big ad for your business, because no, that's not going to do anybody any good.
Yeah.
And more than anything, you're going to annoy people, right? So one of the ways around this is, like, for us, we have a downloadable checklist that we have created for people that go to craft fairs and events. And the reason we have this downloadable checklist is because Chelsea and I, through experience, know that when you are packing for these things, you're bound to forget something as minimal as scissors and tape and this and that. And so what we did was, in order, because it's annoying, okay? And unless you sit down and you make your own checklist, which most small business owners are not going to do, we felt like, hey, we can help someone out if we actually create the checklist for them. So we created one. We included at the bottom where it says other. They can fill their own stuff in if they think of anything else that we've left off the list, but we branded it. And so at the top, it's got our logo. We named the PDF something that was applicable. And then at the bottom, it has our website. This means that anytime they go to an event and they print this off on their computer, which we hope that they do, or if they download it onto their iPad and they're checking through the list, they're going to see our logo and our website at the bottom. It's going to remind them of who provided them with this template that is so useful to them. And that's what we want. It doesn't have anything about our products and services in there at all. It's just a very simple checklist that they can utilize. And at the bottom, they'll be reminded of us.
Okay. I think this was a great, productive conversation. What do you think is the key takeaway for this whole conversation, if you had to pick one?
If I had to pick one, it's
I really
that
put you on the spot.
in 2024, it's fine. In 2024, if you are not using lead magnets, we urge you to create at least one for this upcoming year. And if you're just going to do one, think about what you want it to be and make it something that's going to be super useful, but just try it, because once you do one of them and you realize how effective it is and really kind of how easy it is, you're going to be like, why have I not been doing this the entire time? Because it's a free way to market and grow your business. And once you have it set up and you have the systems in place, we highly recommend checking out Flowdesk. You guys, if you are considering using Flowdesk, we have a link that you could go to where you get 50% off for the first 12 months, the first year of using it. So Flowdesk is really easy. But once you do it, you're going to be like, wow, I have been missing out. So if you're not using a lead magnet, do so in 2024. What's your key takeaway, Chelsea?
I would say, you know what, I'm just going to add on to yours because that's perfect. If you haven't tried lead magnets, go ahead and try it. I want to say, if you have done a lead magnet before, take it up a notch and start creating segments in your target audience and segmentating, and then also creating lead magnets for each segment. So if you're already created the lead magnet, you're already done one under your belt, you think it went great, go ahead, take it a step further and start creating more.
And just because I'm your older sister and I got to tease you about stuff, I don't think it's segmentating. I think it's segmenting.
Segmenting.
Segmenting?
Segmenting?
I don't know. Y'all tell us. Is it segmentating or segmenting?
It's definitely not segmentating. But I was on a roll and I wasn't going to go back and correct
You got
that.
caught up, I know.
Yeah.
And I was about to let it go, but I was like, would you be... I think it's segmenting. Yeah, it is segmenting. And see, I wouldn't be a proper big sister if I wasn't like...
That's fine. It's fine. Well, that was our episode for this week. Again, if you have any topics you want us to discuss, email us at help@theseasonmarketer.com. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can just leave us a comment in the comment section.
Yes, in the
share
comment
this.
section.
I don't know. Now there's too many words coming out of my mouth. If you know another S.O.B that would really benefit from listening to our conversations for some reason, because now I feel like this is just going downhill and I'm babbling. But if you have someone that you think would benefit from hearing our conversations, go ahead and send this podcast to them. We are here to help small business owners. That's our entire goal. It's our focus. Go ahead and also leave us a 5-star review. Only 5 stars. We won't accept anything less. All of that stuff. And just go be the best S.O.B you can be.